I'm working in my shop today. I got two projects going on here at the same time. This one you're looking at is the shelf in my Volvo above the driver's and passenger's seat. It's just an open shelf, and you got to be real careful what you put up there. It's got to be something soft like paper towels or sponges, because when you hit a bump, things fall off of that shelf and hit you on the head. And my head has broke a couple things because I got a hard head, Anyway, this is almost ready to go out and try to fit it up there and see if I got to do any trimming or whittling. No, there's no straight edges up there. It's all slight curves and little angles that I think I got it right. But yeah, this is going to have 3 doors in it when I get it fitted right, and I'm going to cut the doors. There's 3 compartments up there, 3 compartments in the shelf. So I'm going to cut me 3 doors. The middle one is the bigger one, and I don't know if you can see this line here. This is one on the left, and I'm going to cut a door here, one in the middle, and one on the end. And I got some really nice hardware for it. Stain it, polyurethane it. It's going to look real nice. And the other project I'm working on is this here. My truck is an automatic, and it's got a shift pad that's about 4 by maybe 7, and it's inside this big plastic housing that I have no idea why Volvo thought they had to make this gigantic monstrosity that takes up about half the room between the seats, that you've got to swing your legs around when you get into the seat or out of the seat, and it's really in the way. That's one of the problems. The second problem is my dog, when she jumps up onto the seat when we're out of the truck, kicks it into gear, because it's just a pressure touchpad. You press a little button and it goes into drive or neutral or reverse, and I got to stop that because it's only happened, fortunately, when the truck has been parked, but actually that's not true. She kicked it into neutral one time while we were going down a road. And I've got the third problem with that shifter pad is it's lit up, and it puts this reflection on the windshield that is just super, super annoying. And the longer the night goes on, the more tired your eyes get, the more annoying that green reflection on the windshield is. So I've made this cover. I'm going to hinge it to the side. It mounts to the seat on the side, from the side here, and I'm going to have this hinge out that way so you can close it at night. I'll have a lid for it and everything, and keep the reflection off the windshield and keep the dog from kicking it into neutral. So that's my second project, and I do have a third project that I'm hoping I'll get to, and that's in one of the closets. I'm trying to build a shelf in the closet with a drawer on the bottom of the shelf that'll slide in and out. And but I'm going to get this finished first, and then I'm going to get this mounted and finished, and if I got time, I'm going to do that drawer in the closet. And I'm fixing to take this out to the truck right now, not that, this, and fit it, see if it'll slide up in there. And if it does, then I'm going to come back and cut the door holes. I'm going to do that out here while I can lay it flat, and get the doors mounted and hardware on, and then screw it in there. And the final fitting, when it's all fits perfect, I'm going to stain it and polyurethane it, and I'll show you that when it's done. See ya. I've made some real progress today. This is it. I got hardware mounted. Everything's ready to go. All the doors open and close. I got to get some catches that will screw on right here. When you close it, it'll hold it shut. I need 2 for this. And I put all the hardware on just to make sure everything fits before I stain it. I'm going to remove all the hinges and hardware and stain it, polyurethane it, and let it dry a couple days, and mount it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be nice not having things fall on my head. And I got the lid for my shifter box made. And tomorrow I'll sand it down, put a hinge on it, and mount it to that. And I'm even thinking about the bottom of the box. Thinking about making a bottom that'll screw onto it, and up on the end of it, cut a little hole in there for a coffee cup. Be closer than having to reach towards the dashboard to get my coffee. And I'm just having fun out here. Made a mess. Got to use a whole bunch of tools. And still snowing out, and boy is it cold in here. I'll be back out here tomorrow to stain it and put a coat of polyurethane on it. See ya. There's the shelf that I'm going to turn into cabinets. Kind of dark in here, but you get the idea. And here is the closet that I'm going to try to figure out a way to make a drawer for maybe the top half of it, or the top third, for socks and underwear or stuff like that. Because my wife is short, she can't reach these top cabinets. Anyway, that's my third project. And this is that god awful big chunk of plastic attached to the seat. And there's not a whole lot of room between the front edge of that and that cup holder. And I'm a man of girth. And it's hard to get behind the seat sometimes because there's just not enough room. So the little box I'm making is probably less than half the size of this here. And it's going to put it closer into the seat and a lot lower. And I'll be able to get around it a little easier. There's the shelf that I'm going to turn into cabinets. Kind of dark in here, but you get the idea. And here is the closet that I'm going to try to figure out a way to make a drawer for maybe the top half of it, or the top third, for socks and underwear or stuff like that. Because my wife is short, she can't reach these top cabinets. Anyway, that's my third project. And this is that god awful big chunk of plastic attached to the seat. And there's not a whole lot of room between the front edge of that and that cup holder. And I'm a man of girth. And it's hard to get behind the seat sometimes because there's just not enough room. So the little box I'm making is probably less than half the size of this here. And it's going to put it closer into the seat and a lot lower. And I'll be able to get around it a little easier. Man, that come out kind of nice, if I do say so myself. Here's the shifter box. These bolts here go all the way through to the inside. I made this spacer. This is going to bolt to the side of the seat here. Made the lid. Attached it with a piany hinge. A piany, isn't that what they said on Beverly Hillbillies? With a cement pool and the piano. Anyway, this is it. Now all I got to do is mount the little catches that are going to hold these doors closed, but that'll only take me a second. I got them right here. Had to pick them up yesterday. And a couple of minutes and I will be in the truck installing this. Okay, I got my brackets up that are going to hold the cabinet face. I'm going to screw to them. And I'm fixing to hoist it up in there and tighten it down. Alright, it's mounted. It's solid as a rock. The doors are being held shut really tight, so nothing's going to fall out of here. I'm real proud of that.
Alright, next I'm going to be working on that box there. I mean, I got it out here and everything. I got to take this apart, undo the wires that go to it, drill some holes and bolt that where this is bolted, and I'm going to be done out here. I am going to work on making the drawer for in here very soon, but I may save that for a project when I come home again, because I still have to do a little bit of mechanical work to this thing. Nothing major. I got shocks on the back of my sleeper that are loose, and when the cab bounces up and down, it rattles and squeaks, and I got to get under there and do that. And I got a leak somewhere, an air leak. I paid Volvo to find it, and of course they charged me through the nose and didn't fix it. So that's just another thing I'm gonna have to do myself. Okay, when I get that shifter mounted, I'll do a short clip on that and put this up. See ya. And I just had the mother of all ideas. I'll explain. Boy, this is nasty under here. Nasty. I'm embarrassed for you to see that. And all that dust and dog hair and jeez. Okay, here's what I just discovered. This seat has heat. The base and the back, heat. I know, trucking's a tough life. It also massages. And anyway, this is the wire that provides the electricity for the heat. And over here on the side, down the side here, there's a little switch that cuts it on and off. And I listen to my music on my iPhone just about all the time going down the road. And I go through electricity. It runs through the battery really quick. So I have to plug the iPhone into the cigarette lighter. So there's one cord going all the way across the aisle to the seat to where my phone is. Or I leave the phone near the dashboard and run the headphones over there, and the headphone cord always gets in the way of my arm when I'm steering. So when I put this new box here, I'm going to mount a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug so I can charge my phone there without having these cords go all the way across to the dashboard. And I'll be able to power it using that cord, and I'll be able to cut it on and off using the switch that's already there. And I'm going to go up to AutoZone and find me a 12-volt socket, and I'm going to do that right now. Okay, see ya. Well, I've been messing with this all day, but I finally got it done. Man, it took me like 3 hours. You ever have one of them little projects where you expected it to go kind of easy, and then you run into a little problem that leads to another problem, and between fixing that problem you create another problem, and geez, it's just got worse and worse and worse. And I had to take this whole box apart a little bit and re-drill some holes and take the seat apart to get my nuts in there, and what a nightmare. But it's on, and I'm real happy with it. It takes up about half the space. And now my dog won't put us into gear while we're sleeping. You go to sleep at one end of the parking lot and wake up at another. That's not a good thing. Okay, I'm picking up my tools, I'm going to clean my mess up and going in the house. See ya. Here's a little update about my shifter box. I did a video on that already. But what I've added is this pocket right here that my cell phone will slip down into, and I've put a 12-volt socket screwed to the bottom of it, and my plug for my phone will go up here, and I'll be able to plug my phone in right here, and all the wires will be out of the way, and I have a pair of Motorola stereo headphones that I can listen to my music and talk on the phone with. So there's no cords between the seat and the dashboard, And I've got that 12-volt plug wired into the old seat heat. And boy, that's going to be handy, because them plugs sure have been in the way over the time. My dog got tangled up in them, and when you go to steer around a corner or something, your arms get tangled up in them, and they're just always in the way. And that's going to be handy. See ya.